Welcome one, welcome all to the 1 year anniversary. Happy anniversary to us. Happy anniversary to us. Happy anniversary to Two Track Tombstone and all of my listeners. Happy anniversary to you and me and all of us. 1 year ago today, I did my very first two-track Tombstone. My first two songs were Victims. My first song was Victims by Culture Club. It had to be. And the second song was Groove is in the Heart. Go back and listen to it. Why don't you? Now there's a whole year full. And now I have 1,276 listeners. Who have listened to my podcast they have hit play a total of 10,707 times in 1 year. That's not bad. I feel a little proud of myself. I've had little lows, ups, downs, I don't have really a set schedule, but I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty excited. So I've got two very good little treats for us today. I just kind of opened my CDs, big case, and I just started thumbing through what. And I kind of came to the realization that, I have overlooked my love of Pete Burns for most of this podcast. Pete Burns, of course, the lead singer of Dead or Alive, inspired my fashion sense greatly in my early 20s. He taught me to be like Dancy Gothic. He, of course, Dead or Alive from the You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. That's their big hit. But he had a career before that. He's had a career long after that. He's always been kind of put into that like dance category because he's so gay that he could never be mainstream because he's so gay. And these days he's like had so much plastic surgery that he looks like a freaking monster. He's one of those plastic surgeries gone wrong. If you have the stomach for it, look him up. Pete Burns plastic surgery. It's rough. But I had their first album, which is Sophisticated Boom Boom, and I got very into Pete Burns. There was another album that Dead or Alive put out before they were even signed to a label, and I haven't gone looking for it lately, but I have a copy that's like a friend of mine got for me about 10 years ago, and it's like there's no copyright on it. There's no copyright to that. Or something. It's not on a label or something. Like, you can't find it. You can probably find it on iTunes now, I'm guessing. I didn't actually go looking for it, but nonetheless. And there's a song on there called Black Leather that I've been a little obsessed with. I dated this boy who worked at the Dollar Movie Theater when I was like in 19 or something. His name was Randy, and he claimed to have met Pete Burns in the early days, and he had a tape of this album by Dead or Alive. I always question whether he really met Pete Burns. I don't know. And he said he was friends with somebody from Kiss, the little guy, the weird guy from Kiss that had the ankh on his head. I forgot his name. Nicky something. I can't remember. The other guy from Kiss, the fifth guy that like didn't last long. And he had an ankh on his head. Like, remember him? I can't remember his name. Vinnie Vincent, that was his name. Anyway, Randy also said he knew Vinnie Vincent, but he had this Dead or Alive tape, and there was a song on it called Black Leather, and I fucking loved it. And then Randy moved away, and I never saw from him again, and that song was stuck in my head, and it was decades until I got a copy of the song. With all that said, this song is stuck in my head forever, and the line I used to remember more than anything is, now that I'm old enough to do what I like, I do big, preppy muscle boys on motorbikes in black leather, or something like that. I'll let you listen. This is Black Leather by Dead or Alive.
I am what I am, and I like what I like, and I like it on the back of a motorbike. Black leather. When I was born, I refused to
That is Black Leather by Dead or Alive. Early Dead or Alive. Before Sophisticated Boom Boom Dead or Alive. Their big album was, of course, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. That's the album that You Spin Me Round was on. But he's gone on long after that. He's got a long music career. I looked up his discography. I was with him. Let's see. I had, of course, Sophisticated Boom Boom. Youthquake is Spin Me Round. Spin Me Round was on Youthquake. Then there was Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. Then Rip It Up. Then Nude. Fan the Flame. And then Nucleopatra. I think that's where he lost me. Somewhere around Nucleopatra. Then there was Fragile, Evolution, and That's the Way I Like It the Best of. That's his discography. Yeah, so that's Dead or Alive, and I feel I've overlooked him, and he's been a huge influence in my life. Now, this whole year I've had the thought of playing a song from my album. Of course, I've told you before that I had a band in pre-Katrina. I had a little band called Mellow. We were doing little blues songs, and I realized that, first of all, I don't know anything about music. I've never studied music, so I don't know, like, how to sing music necessarily, but I've got this big loud voice, and I had a friend who had a bass player. One thing led to another, and we ended up with a band, and then we got, Pistol Pete joined in, which made me feel all super legitimate. I think the thing I took away from that was that I just really wanted to make an album. I wanted my own album to say, this is my own album. And now I'm going to play you one song from my own album. I did not write this. I wrote a lot of songs on my album. This was a ripoff, a cover from an L7 song. Nonetheless, this is, and it at the time it summed up my life, like the first 5 years in New Orleans. This is Off the Wagon by yours truly, Marshmallow.
Been dry long enough, my brain and body need some abuse. Rake me over the coals and I'll try to think of an excuse. I set a goal and it won't be hard. Hit every bar on the boulevard. A bad idea, well you're probably right, but I won't be your designated driver tonight, 'cause I'm off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon. Just how much I've embarrassed myself, well, I haven't got a clue. Did I throw a drink in your face or tell you how much I love you? Oh shit, I lost my ID. Hook up the Jägermeister IV. A bad idea, well you're probably right, but I won't be your designated driver tonight, 'cause I'm off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon. Yeah, everybody goes off the wagon at some point in their life. And a lot of things can send you off the wagon. Maybe it was that man that broke your heart. Seems like September 11th sent a lot of people off the wagon. But I tell you what to do. When you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling blue, set a goal. In every bar. A bad idea. I'll be a designated driver tonight, 'cause I'm off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. Off the wagon in another town. I'm off the wagon.
From my album, A Marshmallow from Lady C. That is myself singing Off the Wagon in another town. I love you for listening. You know, I'm going to run over 15 minutes just a little bit. I've been doing that a lot lately, but whatever. It's my podcast. I can do what I want. Even the 15-minute rule is just my own rule. I could make this last 3 hours if I wanted to. I've been thinking lately, since I've been working at the radio station, that even if